All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. A very exciting show today. Dr. Jeffrey Gardier, America's psychologist, will join us in the next segment. But I got to tell you, 24 hours ago, I sat here and I mocked the president's reaction to the burning to death and the release of the video of the burning to death of the Jordanian pilot. And the president basically shrugging his shoulders and saying, well, it's just another example of this organization, like they're incorporated, ISIS, okay? I was outraged, and I'm still outraged. But I got to tell you, I'm very impressed by Jordan, and I'm very impressed by the King of Jordan for hanging the would-be female suicide bomber who ISIS wanted released, and for hanging an associate of Zahari from Al-Qaeda. And now they're going to step up their role in the coalition, and I think this is great. And the King of Jordan said, as long as there's bullets, as long as there's energy and fuel, we will be relentless. Why can't our president say that? After all, this Jordanian pilot was fighting under the coalition umbrella. I'd like to think we're the lead of the coalition, but I know better because we're just the United States. We don't lead anything anymore. But one of our pilots in the coalition was burned to death like this. We've had Americans beheaded by ISIS. This president doesn't feel it. There's something wrong with him. There's something wrong with him. I'm not a psychiatrist, okay? Now, let's move on. You recall a couple days ago we had Ruben Navarrete, CNN contributor, syndicated columnist, and he told me that Telemundo is biased against Republicans, and so are other networks, including his own CNN. Well, Bill O'Reilly on the Fox News channel, on the O'Reilly Factor, led his show with this topic. Here's how it went.
The presidential race off and running. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Presidential vote about 21 months away, but the campaign is on, and that is not a good thing. American voters can get easily overwhelmed with all the BS. However, with the Republican nomination being wide open and a polarizing Hillary Clinton likely to represent the Democrats, this will be a very high-profile election. Obviously, the media will play a huge role, and unfortunately, the press has been corrupted in America by money, the internet, and ideology.
All right, which led him to our interview with Ruben Navarrete. Watch.
Speaking on Newsmax TV yesterday, CNN commentator Ruben Navarrete was very blunt about Univision, which reaches millions of Hispanic voters.
Univision has again shown itself to be a partisan network in favor of Democrats, making Democrats look good, making Republicans look bad.
But what about NBC, CBS? I mean, a lot of people, including me, would say they're totally biased against Republicans.
I agree. I would agree with that as well. I think CNN also fits that category. At times, CNN's probably the bigger problem, and it affects a lot of the networks as well. They cover the wrong stories.
Pretty bold statement from Mr. Navarrete, who is an honest man. Full disclosure, Ruben did say Fox News is biased in favor of Republicans.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Bill O'Reilly. We thank him for using our interview. And Ruben Navarrete, I don't know. We're going to have him back tomorrow, I believe, or Friday, and he will further explain himself. I said to him purposely, I said, with all, out of respect for the fact that you work for CNN, you don't have to weigh in on CNN, and he insisted he weigh in on CNN of his own. So we will get to that. All right, I want you to see this. First of all, this is cut 50. This is the Super Bowl. This is why I'm so glad these Seattle Seahawks lost. Look what wide receiver Doug Baldwin did after he scored a touchdown. Watch. All right, folks, he squatted down like a dog and appeared to, shall we say, poop the football. Now, I was watching the game. I saw part of that where he squatted, and I thought he was going to moon somebody, but they cut away. NBC cut away, and never referenced what he did. Never said anything about it. I thought he was going to moon somebody, but I figured if he did something terrible, we would have heard about it. Well, that's what he did. The Seattle Seahawks, and I'm sorry, it starts at the top. You don't tolerate that. You don't tolerate your cornerback after someone else scores a touchdown against another cornerback going like this to the camera, his number, and mocking him. The Seattle Seahawks are a minor league organization. I'm glad they lost. They deserved it. Dr. Gardier's next.